Samsung is in its third year of making consumer-grade foldable phones, and it looks like third could be the lucky charm for them. After its struggles with foldable phones in the past, the South Korean tech giant is looking like getting things right with its Galaxy Z lineup in 2021. We recently reviewed the uber premium Galaxy Z Fold 3 and were left impressed by just how refined it felt over its predecessors. And now, we have with us the Galaxy Z Flip 3, Samsung's compact and affordable foldable for the year, which again looks like a knockout at first glance. While many believe there's a case for a comparison between the two, we'll steer clear of that minefield in this video, as we believe the two cater to very different audiences, and considering the Galaxy Z Flip 3 retails for almost half the price of the Galaxy Z Fold 3, a comparison between the two will be a little unfair. Instead, we'll focus solely on the Galaxy Z Flip 3 as we attempt to answer if this foldable is truly the phone for you. Hey guys, my name is Sushant, and before we get to the review of the Z Flip 3, let me welcome you all to Digit.in, your one-stop shop for all the latest tech news, gadget reviews and buying guides. Now with that out of the way, let's get started. Staying true to its roots, the Galaxy Z Flip 3 features a clamshell design and both looks and feels like an upgrade on what we saw from the Z Flip last year. While at first glance, it doesn't look like a lot has changed between the Galaxy Z Flip 3 and the Galaxy Z Flip, with there being some noticeable differences between the two. We still have a dual camera setup at the back, however, the design treatment for it is very different from what we saw on the original Z Flip last year. This is because for the Z Flip 3, Samsung has gone for two large round lenses placed vertically on top of each other. But arguably, the biggest design change of all is the inclusion of a bigger cover display that measures in at 1.9 inches, as opposed to the 1.1-inch display of the Z Flip. While this display is still limited in terms of functionality, it definitely is a step in the right direction, as it makes it easier to read notifications, control some apps like voice recorder and music player without flipping the phone open. However, the front panel's biggest impact is arguably when it comes to the aesthetics of the device. On a Phantom Black review unit, this gave the phone a nice dual tone finish, with the display providing the gloss to contrast the matte finish of the rest of the phone's back. It's something we cannot explain in words, but as you can see on your screens right now, this design decision makes the phone look absolutely stunning, especially when it's folded. And once you're done admiring just how beautiful the Z Flip 3 looks when folded, it impresses more with just how convenient it can be in this form factor. Despite all it offers, the biggest reason in my opinion to buy the Z Flip 3 is definitely its convenient and pocketable form factor. When closed, the phone's barely half the height of the Z Fold 3, ensuring it can snug inside almost any pocket, which may not seem like a big deal when you listen to me talk about it, but that's only because it's one of those things that you simply got to experience to appreciate. But that's not where all the fun ends. Once out of the pocket and flipped to open, the device continues to feel like magic. It automatically transforms into a tall 6.7-inch phone that still fits easily into the palm and feels premium to hold on to. The only thing snapping you out of the magical experience is the phone's stubbornness to not allow you to open it with one hand. While it's not exactly impossible to do so, sadly it's quite close to it. While the process of opening up the Z Flip 3 is generally quite fun, it is not the easiest because you have to involve both hands, which may not always be possible. That is, of course, if you don't plan to drop this expensive piece of hardware from your hands. If you're brave enough to risk a few drops, then you can go ahead and try awkwardly opening the Z Flip 3 with one hand. While we did not try testing this, it will be prudent to mention that the Galaxy Z Flip 3 is a lot more durable than last year's Galaxy Z Flip. This time around, it comes with water resistance that's backed by an IPX8 rating. Samsung also claims to have strengthened the frame and the hinge with what it calls armor aluminum for increased durability. And there's Gorilla Glass Victus protection for the front display. On that note, let's get to the phone's inner display. Once you open the Galaxy Z Flip, It can be used as a regular tall display device that not only looks and feels like a regular smartphone, but whose display also works like one. Yes, we still have a crease running horizontally through the middle of the phone, but that's just something we got used to after using the phone for a while. To Samsung's credit, it has managed to thin the crease from what we had seen on the Z Flip 3 last year, and now it's mostly visible when you're looking at the phone from an angle. This in turn manages to create a more immersive experience than we had seen on the clamshell foldable last year. But the thinner crease is not only an upgrade the phone gets in the display department. The Galaxy Z Flip 3 gets a 6.7-inch Super AMOLED display with support for Full HD resolution and up to 120Hz refresh rate. The latter helps in improving the overall experience using the device, as it makes not only playing games, but simple tasks such as scrolling through the web pages and menus a joy. This time around, Samsung has used an ultra-thin glass cover that is 80% more durable than the one we saw on the Z Flip. While it's still not the same as Gorilla Glass Victus that's found on the front panel, it still improves the level of protection on the device. Thankfully, this ultra-thin glass also doesn't impact the general performance of the display, as Calvin Ultimate Tools showed the display maintaining high gamut coverage and color accuracy levels across sRGB and HDR display profiles. For example, set to the natural sRGB mode, the display showed good color accuracy with low average delta E of 2.5 and a max delta E of 4.4. For the vivid profile, the performance was comparable at an average delta E of 2.4 and a maximum delta E of 4.8. The main display on the Galaxy Z Flip 3 also showed the ability to cover a wide range of colors, with Calman's color volume test showing that the phone can cover over 103% of the sRGB and 108% of the DCI-P3 color space. Overall, the results of both the Digit Lab tests and our personal experiences prove that the Galaxy Z Flip 3 has a fine display that can produce similar experiences that one can have on regular glass lab smartphones. Yes, there's still scope for improvement, and Samsung can definitely make the display wider and also make the crease a little more forgettable. Yet, for the here and now, what we have on the Galaxy Z Flip 3 is still pretty good. Let's be honest, the Galaxy Z Flip 3 isn't a phone that's about numbers. As foldable phones, it's more about enabling unique experiences than about high in-game frame rates or clocking insane benchmark scores. But hey, that doesn't mean it won't be put to the test using Digit's strenuous testing process. But before we get to that, let's give you a quick run-through of the specifications of the Galaxy Z Flip 3. For the core hardware, the Galaxy Z Flip 3 gets a Snapdragon 888 SoC paired with 8GB of RAM and either 128GB or 256GB of storage. On paper, this is a very powerful setup that should help the Galaxy Z Flip 3 handle heavy-duty games as well as simpler apps of daily use with relative ease. And we are happy to report that's indeed the case for the Galaxy Z Flip 3. In our time with the device, the Galaxy Z Flip 3's core hardware helped the device not only run resource-intensive applications, but also impress when we put it to the sword of taxing benchmark tests. One of the major reasons why this has been made possible on the Galaxy Z Flip 3 is because the device appears to handle its thermals really well, and as a result, manages to not let its CPU be throttled even after intense use. Testing the phone using the CPU throttling test, we achieved good results, with the phone only being throttled to 87% of its performance after 10 minutes of use. This was also the case for gaming, where the phone managed to throw up impressive results. As you can see on your screens right now, the game bench scores for both Call of Duty Mobile and Asphalt 9 Legends were good, with the Galaxy Z Flip 3 living up to its promise of providing flagship-grade performance. Even for benchmarks, the results were generally good, with the Galaxy Z Flip 3 scoring 698,922 points on Antutu. On Geekbench, single core, it scored 1102 points, while the multi-core test showed it scoring 3483 points. These scores were very much in line with what we have seen on other Snapdragon 888 chipset phones, including the Galaxy Z Fold 3. This once again was a clear indication of just how the Z Flip 3 is among the top performing devices available in the market right now. Coming to the cameras, we'll keep things simple as that's exactly what Samsung has done with the Z Flip 3. The phone comes with a selfie lens which is the same as the one we saw on the Galaxy Z Flip. As such, for selfies, you get a 10 megapixel lens with an f2.4 aperture. However, at the back, we now get two lenses, with the first being a 12 megapixel wide-angle shooter sat next to a 12 megapixel ultra-wide lens. Photos clicked using the Galaxy Z Flip 3's primary lens generally come out sharp and vibrant with slightly saturated colors when compared to the results of, let's say, an iPhone 12 Pro. But once again, that's something we've come to expect from Samsung phones now. But this aside, the camera performance of the Galaxy Z Flip 3 is flagship-like, especially for daytime photography. In low light, the phone clicks highly detailed shots, which are further supplemented using the Galaxy Z Fold 3's night mode. However, the results are not as great as what we had seen on the Galaxy Z Fold 3. But our guess is that will be fixed with the software update. As for the ultra-wide performance, the camera results deteriorate slightly in low light conditions. But generally, the results are good when pictures are clicked in well-lit situations. The only thing lacking here is the telephoto lens on the phone, which depending on your usage may or may not be too big of a miss. Overall, the phone manages to provide a flagship level camera experience that just gets the job done without much fuzz, which honestly is something that you'd expect from a phone like the Galaxy Z Flip 3. The battery life of the Galaxy Z Flip 3 is honestly not one of its strong points. This is largely because Samsung saw fit to equip the phone with the same 3300 mAh battery pack that it used for the original Galaxy Z Flip. This, in our opinion, was not a smart choice. So, if you use the Galaxy Z Flip 3 as a regular phone with the screen on majority of the time, you will run out of charge before the end of the day. However, because of the unique nature of the phone, we ended up spending a lot of the time using the Z Flip 3 display closed and screen not in action. This helped prolong the battery life to barely get us through the day on most occasions. But if you thought this was bad, then wait for what I have to tell you next. So, for some strange reason, Samsung has decided to equip the Galaxy Z Flip 3 with no fast charging. Well, technically it does come with what Samsung calls 15-watt adaptive fast charging, but in all honesty, for a flagship in 2021, we're not sure why Samsung still insists on calling it fast. In fact, it's not even fast for budget or mid-range phones in the market right now. The only saving grace here is because the phone offers a smallish battery pack, the lack of fast or super fast charging doesn't really hurt much. During our testing, we found the phone taking around an hour and 15 minutes to charge to the brim. In all honesty, this number is not very bad for charging a flagship phone, just bad for charging a phone with such a small battery. We're finally at the end of the road here. It's time we wrap things up for the day and give you a verdict on the Galaxy Z Flip 3. In my opinion, for the here and now, the Galaxy Z Flip 3 is not the perfect phone, but it's very close to becoming it. From the presence of the crease to its small battery, there are things that I would have loved Samsung to improve on with the Galaxy Z Flip 3. Yet, it manages to make up for all its cons with the sheer value of innovation it offers. This innovation helps it achieve a compact form factor and a bunch of unique features that help it get one over other metal and glass phones in the market right now. But if all of that's not enough for you, then the Z Flip 3 is also a style statement. With its premium looks and its sense of novelty, the Z Flip 3 promises to help you stand out of the crowd, and that too at a price that's not exorbitant. Starting at Rs 84,999, the Galaxy Z Flip 3 is more affordable than the Galaxy S21 Ultra, and more interestingly, also retails at a price that's more favorable than the iPhone 13 Pro and the Pro Max models. If nothing else, this price tag makes my job of recommending the Galaxy Z Flip 3 easier. So if you're looking for a new premium flagship for yourself, then look no further. Buy the Galaxy Z Flip 3 and enjoy being fast-tracked into the future. This was a review of the Galaxy Z Flip 3. If you like this video, consider sharing it with your friends and family. Also subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to make sure you don't miss out on any of our other content. Thanks for watching.